Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Sammy!
And welcome to another episode of our box office show where we recap and do predictions for each season of the yearly calendar, I guess, for the movies. And joining me today is Evan Harris to help me break down all that happened during the summer and to predict the fall holiday season. Evan?
Hey, I'm glad to be back. Yeah, summer was very interesting. We had some winners, some losers. Pretty predictable for the most part, but then there was some stuff early on that kind of surprised us. But exciting to break down the summer box office season and predict the fall, which is looking to be very franchise heavy towards the back half. But there could be some surprises. We never know what might happen this fall season.
Yeah, the unquestionable winner this summer, were you. Yeah, I had a rough this year.
Do you have the list of what we did for the summer?
I do. Let's look at that, and then we'll look at some individual movies.
Let's do that. Let's perfect.
Give me one.
Because yeah, summer. What did I have Lilo and Stitch this summer?
You had that, yeah.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch was a predictable one to bank on, though. It's funny because I had Jurassic World Rebirth as number one ahead of Lilo and Stitch. I wonder why I did that. I think for me, in hindsight now, it kind of seems ridiculous to put Lilo and Stitch as my second in my draft here below Jurassic World. But Jurassic World is a proven franchise, and it did pretty damn well this summer. But Lilo and Stitch, I was coming off of this a sliver of doubt following the Snow White bombing, because we recorded that or the summer breakdown in like May, and it was like just 1 month or 2 months removed from what happened with Snow White, and I'm like, could there be some Disney live action skepticism there? But I just knew like the marketing campaign for Lilo and Stitch was very big. I needed to have it on my list, so Lilo and Stitch was a big get for me there. Jurassic World Rebirth, we knew going in this was going to be the weakest of the franchise, at least of the Jurassic World franchise. I think it made more than, of course, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3. I forget how much the OG Jurassic Park made now because people always go back and forth with inflation.
Yeah.
But anyways, Jurassic World Rebirth right now is sitting at around 890 million, I believe, which is pretty damn good, scratching at $900 million, but it hasn't got there yet. But yeah, that's really remarkable considering the state of the box office right now, where anything above 700 is like basically what $1 billion was pre-COVID. So Jurassic World Rebirth coming out with like not the best like reception, but still making a $890 million, way more so than a lot of other movies that had been getting longer marketing campaigns and bigger fan pushes, like a Superman, Mission Impossible, Fantastic Four. Like these comic book movies that had a lot of big like fan hype couldn't even come close to Jurassic World Rebirth, which only started filming last summer. Like this was a very quick turnaround, but Universal knows what they got on their hands with the movie, and I liked it for the most part. I think I liked it more than you and Josh. So I'll be on board for more Jurassic World Rebirth movies with this cast.
Yeah, I mean, I think what happened is that they realized they didn't have anything for the summer, so they just fast tracked this one, and good call, I guess, money wise.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we both didn't have 28 years later on our list here, but I think it made more than like
definitely did more Megan. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, let's go into that. Explain your Megan 2.0 decision. What happened there?
Yeah, so for every season, I like to have a little bit of everything, but I for sure feel like I need to have a horror pick. Yeah. Looking at the calendar for the summer, 28 Years Later was probably the one that I was most nervous about, just because it was like, it's been a while since the last couple ones. It has a great cast, but I don't really know if any of them will like move the needle for like the general audience.
Yeah.
And even though I love Danny Boyle, there's always that risk of like, oh, what's gonna happen here? Like he's coming back to this thing. Um, and even though I love the movie and it did pretty solid, like I just didn't know if I could justify it based on all of those elements. Weapons was
Yeah.
my second runner up, just because like everybody like really loved Barbarian. The guy like Zach Kreger knows how to craft a crowd pleaser with horror. Um, but I ultimately went with the big IP, given that the last one made like $200 million
Yeah.
worldwide. Uh, I don't think anybody saw this one coming. How bad of a bomb it would be.
Me neither. And Jason Blum's complaints, or not complaints, but just like reflections on it was like they pushed too much. What was it again? Edward? They focused too much on Megan.
I
Like,
think the way that he was trying to justify it was more so of they thought that Megan was like a household name and they could
mm,
do anything with the character, even switch genres. Which I was just like I was actually talking about this with Josh a couple days ago. It's like I don't even really know if the movie itself is the problem, but I think releasing this in the middle of the summer was a big mistake. I think if you would have put it like in middle of August or like even right now in September, like go toe to toe with like The Conjuring or something like that, I think we'll be fine. I don't think it would have made like $200 million, but it would have been okay. Even if you release the exact same movie but in a different time of the year.
it's hard. I think with the genre switch up to action, they're probably like, well, it's now an action comedy, less so than a horror. So let's put it in an action comedy release date, which is around usually the summertime for the most part. But look at that. Holy shit. $39 million, which is what like Weapons made opening weekend, even more
I-
so.
I'm pretty sure that's what Megan did opening weekend.
Bacon, yeah, exactly. Like this is astonishing. What an astonishing drop off. I do have to go with the reviews though. I think, and just they did overly market it, but it wasn't like exciting marketing, right? Like it was weird marketing. Like
it
her,
was it was them trying to catch lightning in a bottle again. Because the thing with
yeah,
Megan, the first one, is that it all happened pretty organically, and this was like them trying to recapture that.
it was, and then like doing like weird TikTok dances, like her dancing around with like what was it, Britney Spears or something. I'm just like, who are
Oh,
they
Chapel,
trying?
yeah.
Yeah, like who are they trying to appeal to here?
Shut up,
Um,
Josh.
Make Edgar having Megan is rough. Yeah, it was a choice. And I had Karate Kid Legends as my fifth pick, and I should have gone horror there. I think I'm surprised I didn't go Final Destination at the very least over my Karate Kid Legends pick. Um, I think Karate Kid Legends did decently fine. Let's see here, 114 million, um, which is pretty good. But I thought the domestic would be a lot bigger. I was overly confident on the family hype, and I think the family focus
I
was still on Lilo and Stitch and How to Train a Dragon, and this one just got in between.
I think the problem with this one, even though it did okay, is that I think people just consider this a TV franchise now.
I think so. I think so. And the TV show is excellent, really, really good. I recommend people go on Netflix and watch all 5 seasons of Cobra Kai. But yeah, I'm with you. I think this was like them trying to extend the life of the franchise in terms of movies. And while I think the movie is pretty damn fun, it's hard to get people like, hey, go see this next Karate Kid movie. I think the marketing was pretty solid though too. But yeah, it came out in a very crowded time for this specific action drama family, you know, uh, area. Because again, Lilo and Stitch was still hot, or I think it was a week before Lilo and Stitch, um, and then there was Mission Impossible, and then there was How to Train Your Dragon right after that. So it was just like super super crowded in terms of that specific genre. But yeah, Final Destination would have been my pick there, or Weapons. Just you just stick with horror. Um, but yeah, so I think one of the bigger things here is to talk about like the superhero landscape
Yeah.
following this summer season. Um, So we went into this summer knowing that it was going to be a bit of a clash between franchises with Jurassic World, Superman, and F4 coming out in July. We already talked about Jurassic World Rebirth, 890 million easily winning the day here. But Superman and Fantastic Four did less than I expected, interestingly enough. So let's start here with Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four First Steps currently has 268 million. Domestic opening was pretty damn strong, 117 million. That is right in line with what Spider-Man Homecoming made, which was around that 117, 118. And even Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 made like 121, 120 in that like late 100 million, 110 millions range there. So it starts off really well, 117. But I think the Friday box office for that was very large in the drop from Friday to Sunday of that opening weekend to achieve 117 million. It was an interesting weekend drop off from Friday to Sunday specifically. And that kind of clued people into like, okay, this might be a rare front loaded MCU movie. And usually MCU movies have been, I wouldn't say even rare now. MCU movies have been recently front loaded, outside of like your guaranteed hits like Deadpool or whatever. But like 117 million in the following weekend, it dropped like over 60%, which was shocking. I think.
Or do you?
Let's see where we can go and look at that at. Scroll up.
Releases, title summary. No, where is it?
Why am I blinking on this? Performance. Oh, click on domestic.
Oh, domestic.
Scroll down. Right there, the domestic in blue, right there.
What is this? That's it.
Yeah, there we go. So domestic weekend, it came out with 117 million, and then the next week I think it was like 50 something. No, it was 38. That was a sharp drop off. That's wild. A 67% drop off for Fantastic Four, and then it just continued like, even in the third weekend. Even in people's third weekends, they usually balance out to about like 50%, maybe even lower for the third weekend. But no, it went right up to 59, even in its third weekend. So domestic, it just completely fell apart. Very interesting.
It's very interesting again because of the whole superhero landscape. Because on one hand, you could say that the movie not having legs is a result of the buzz of the movie. Like I feel like for the most part it's kind of positive, but like a lot of people thought it was just boring. Which if that's the case, then you can blame it on that. But then you have something like Thunderbolts, who it's like the complete opposite of that, where like the buzz was really strong, people were talking about it, but it also just like kind of like fell apart. So it's almost like you can't even really have it one way or the other. Like it's like people don't really know what they want in a sense.
Possibly. It is so hard to describe into like a little bit of words here, but like I think it's just the appeal of this specific franchise, because I don't want to say like it's a big comic book thing overall, even though it kind of is, kind of isn't, because like again, I think you have your guaranteed hits. I know we might disagree on like what's going to happen with Avengers, but next year, Spider-Man and Avengers will make over $1 billion.
Yeah,
that's just what's going to happen. But like Thunderbolts, a franchise that was built off of like Disney Plus heroes. Florence Pugh got her start in, Black Widow, but then she continued to be a spotlight in like Hawkeye or whatever. So, Florence Pugh being the star of the show made a lot of sense. But then the other characters were just very like, who are they? Like, I don't know if I should watch this movie. I have no idea who anybody else is besides, Yelena Belova and her father. That's kind of all they knew. But for Fantastic Four, this is a franchise that has historically just not been well received by audiences, both critically and financially. And even if you include the Asian market, which was a big, we'll get into that with Superman as well. The Asian market just crippled these two movies. But even if you give a generous plus $100 million to both of these, if China was like up to normal here, if you add like 50 to $100 million based on like China not flopping, F4 is still making only like $600 million. So it's very interesting. I don't know what went wrong here, but I think for me, to sum it all up, is just the franchise itself. Now that people have seen it, and maybe the word of mouth can spread that it is actually a pretty good movie. Again, this one was pretty, like you said, a lot of reactions was about it being boring. But now that people know these characters, they fell in love with this family, which was the biggest positive coming out of this movie. Maybe once they have a good spotlight in Avengers, maybe the franchise can grow after that. But yeah, it just did not do well. It only scratching above $500 million was shocking. I thought this was due like Guardians of the Galaxy numbers. Nobody knew who Guardians of the Galaxy were too, but they came out at a time when the MCU was fresh,
At its peak, yeah.
fresh, rising at its peak exactly, and it made $800 million. Like, that's crazy. Let's look up Superman here. So Superman comes out with 125 million, 8 million more than the opening weekend for Fantastic Four. But unlike F4, it continued its buzz, its strong word of mouth to make 352 domestic, which is one of the best, runs for a comic book movie, getting over there past the 300 million mark. And had great drop-offs too. 53% in second weekend, 57%. And that was because it was competing with Jurassic World. And in its last weekend there, when it came out from that July 25th to July 27th, it still made 24 million when Fantastic Four was on its opening weekend. So it did pretty strong here. And, I think while WB would have wanted something probably past Man of Steel, which made $650 million, I think they'll take a more positively well-received movie than a box office that made like only 40 million, not including inflation, less than Man of Steel. And Man of Steel did have a good Asian market, unlike this one where Superman completely flopped in China, just like Thunderbolts, just like Fantastic Four. So it is interesting. 613 million isn't bad at all. WB is very happy about this. I think I'm very happy about this. This is still one of my favorite movies of the year, and I'm glad it did as well as it did. I think going into it, I was expecting somewhere like at least above 700. That's what I was thinking. But because I was going in line with like what the Batman did in 2022. The Batman came out in March and had a very good Asian opening, very good domestic run, and it made like $750 million. But that's Batman, the most popular superhero ever, next to Spider-Man. And Superman, I think, is just now getting back into a positive general zeitgeist, so much so that people are cheering for the next movie in Man of Tomorrow. So I think this was a pretty good haul there for Superman.
Yeah. And going from that, let's look at my one and only hit in my draft. How to Train Your Dragon.
Which is another franchise that has, like, after its opening weekend, immediately got greenlit for its sequel.
Not even, like, I thought it was like before. Didn't it get announced at CinemaCon?
Maybe you're right. Yeah. I think at CinemaCon they announced it. That they're doing part 2. Yeah, you're right, because I remember during the press they were asking, like, do you think we can get Kate Blanchett back as the mom in part 2, which I think is a given now. I think if she's open to do
Borderlands,
hell yeah, she'd be and yeah, she's definitely gonna be open to do this movie, which is gonna give her a lot more money. But yeah, 84 million and legging it out to 262 million. That's a great multiplier right there. It's like what, 3.3 multiplier for How to Train Your Dragon. I actually liked this movie. Granted, I'm a huge fan of the animated movies. I know this doesn't hold a candle to it, but I think like the IMAX, the Dolby experiences for the flying sequences, at the very least, were pretty thrilling. And I think Gerard Butler as the dad was pretty good. So I'll be there to see the second one. If we have to get live action remakes, I'd rather get movies like this rather than like what we got with Lilo and Stitch and Snow White this year. I think this was a pretty good example of, a remake, even though it is one for one. It's hard to get what we want.
Balance it out.
Yeah. But either way, box office wise, very strong and internationally making more than it made domestically there. I think this one also did very well in European and Asian markets, which led it to make $630 million, higher than Superman, higher than Fantastic Four, higher than like F1, higher than I think let me see, Mission Impossible. Can you go to Mission Impossible Final Reckoning for me?
Give me 1 second.
Sure thing. Yeah, because this was my, still one of my all-time favorite movies of the year. I love Mission Impossible. 598, couldn't scratch that 600 million barrier, but pretty well. I think this outgrossed Dead Reckoning. And look at that international haul, 400 million. That's really, really remarkable. Tom Cruise still, in this franchise, still has a big following overseas. 197 is in line with most of the Mission Impossible movies. I think Fallout has the highest domestic run, which I think is only like 230 or 220. So it did very well. And it did, again, I think they were just hoping, like, can this do better than Dead Reckoning?
Dead Reckoning, yeah.
And it did. Both I don't know about critically, not critically. But, and it didn't have as wide a release, only 3,861 theaters. Well, I think the other ones had like 4,000. But either way, this was a big get, specifically for IMAX. IMAX is having quite a great run post-COVID with movies like Avatar 2, Top Gun especially,
Oppenheimer,
Sinners. And this year, we had Sinners. F1 was I think F1 is the biggest IMAX hit of the year.
I think so, yeah.
Can you go to F1 after this? But Mission Impossible, I'm very happy with this franchise, and it's closing out on a good note.
Another fuck up for me, giving you this on the danger zone. I still think my logic made sense, but it just ended up biting me.
Yeah, I mean, your logic made sense because Apple, first of all, this is Apple TV's biggest hit yet. They're making so much bank because remember, guys, Apple TV doesn't need this money. They don't need this like theatrical haul. Just look at how much they're greenlighting Slow Horses. But this is a huge success, and I'm very happy that I think this is a very cliche movie, but it just works for me. I really like it. I don't think Brad Pitt was putting it in.
You're right. It's right.
But I'm very, very interested in this box office performance here. Like 188 off of a $57 million opening is a great multiplier again. In that international, 428 internationally. Wow. That's just, it's remarkable. And yeah, I think me and you both had the similar doubts. Like, can Apple TV generate this big buzz? Are people going to be tired out by this movie if it looks too similar to Top Gun? The answer is no. It looks like Top Gun, and cars and families, dads specifically, came on board to see this movie. Brad Pitt can still carry not franchise, but a big movie like this. He still has it in him. People like Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise.
How much of it do you think is actually Brad Pitt and not the brand F1 though? Because if you look at those international numbers, there's a big difference.
I'm not a huge F1 fan, but is F1 the biggest thing in like China? I don't know how big, but it is a sports drama, kind of.
It is considered the biggest sports event worldwide besides the World Cup.
Maybe you're right. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll take your word for that. Is F1 bigger than like football? American football?
Oh, I think definitely. At least overseas. Because football is just like an American thing. It's not
true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Learn something new every day. But yeah, you're right. I think there's also, it has to appeal to like the F1 concept. But I think you put like Aaron Taylor Johnson in here and I don't know if it's making $617 million. We'll never know. But yeah, I think the appeal of the sport, the appeal of like this kind of movie, and the marketing was very sharp too. It's like the whole just like the heart beating, the visceral sound. This is one of those movies this year that was an experience. Like people came out saying like you have to see this in theaters. Do not just wait to watch this on Apple TV, which was the case for all the other Apple TV movies. Like even I know people love the Scorsese movie. People aren't going out of their seats to see that 3-hour drama. So this is a good run there for Apple TV and for IMAX.
And also keep in mind that this is one of the many movies this year that has helped Warner Brothers earn that title of the 7 movies that have opened over $40 million.
Yeah,
there's a new one this weekend too.
Exactly. Let's transition. Are you ready to go into fall predictions?
Let me see. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you want to look at Elio or just move on? Because there's not really much.
Actually,
Elio.
Let's look up Elio because I want to bring that into a Pixar discussion for next year as well. So Elio came out this year. Decent. I don't want to say decent. I think it's more than decent reviews as a Pixar movie. But this, I think, good call here, Edgar, because this deserves to be talked about here. One of the bigger Pixar disappointments. I think this is in line with like a little bit above The Good Dinosaur. I wish there was a Pixar box office ranking. I wish I knew that.
There probably is. Let me see.
Yeah, if you could find that for me, that'd be cool. But yeah, while you look that up, 153 million for Elio, 72 million domestic is bad. Like, and off of a $20 million opening. Oh, going from 72 million off of a $22 million opening isn't that bad. That's like, again, high 3.7, 3.6 multiplier. And I think this is off of like pretty good reviews. And look at the drop off there from like 20 million, 50% of 10 million, and then it just kind of dies from there.
It's just an issue of bad marketing. Also, halfway through production, they decided to remake the whole movie essentially, which made it more expensive. And at its core, that's the problem at Pixar. They make really expensive movies. They look gorgeous, but if you want to make money, you got to bring those prices down.
Exactly. It made 153 million worldwide off of a 150 million plus budget, not including marketing. I don't think this costs like 100. I think this costs like 150 million.
I want to say like close to 200, but
yeah, maybe close to 200. Elio budget. Yeah, Elio was 150 million, but some reports suggest, like you said, close to 200 million. And that's not even including marketing, they're saying. Yeah. And this would be due to, like you said, substantial, rewrites, reworking, delays, director changes. So yeah, this is just not very good for Pixar here. Oh, thank you. So Inside Out 2, like all your sequels here are up top. Let's go to the bottom here. Let's see where Elio would fit.
I think Elio's last. Let's see.
Lifetime gross. Wouldn't it be
Onward? Soul, I guess? I don't know.
So Elio made 153. Wouldn't it be in the 20s?
Elio's right here. 25.
Where's Elio? I can see it. Okay. So I guess this wasn't updated to like it's when Elio was at his peak. Interesting.
I think it's like lifetime gross.
Oh, domestic. We're looking at domestic. I'm sorry. I'm looking at worldwide. But yeah, thank you. So domestically, 72 million. Below Lightyear, which is remarkably below Lightyear, and below the Dinosaur. So yeah, this is the lowest because this is officially the lowest because the other ones were Disney Plus, so they don't really count. Like Onward was like
COVID.
COVID hit it, so it doesn't really count. Re-release, Turning
Red,
Luca, Soul, they were all Disney Plus releases. Wow. So Ellie was officially the lowest one. Again, if you want to debate Onward, but like that's pretty crazy. And man, this just goes into the sad state of Pixar here, where it drops to the very bottom. The reviews again were solid, not great, which for Pixar you need to be great these days. um, and it just didn't appeal to a lot of people. The marketing was very wishy-washy, and it didn't look too like I have to. It didn't have like that Pixar magic, which is hard to achieve nowadays. But it just had like the mother-child thing has been done before at Pixar in better movies. Um, so it's just it's a swing and a large miss here. But looking ahead for Pixar next year, they have it's called Hoppers, where the girl puts her brain in the mind of a beaver, and I think that's coming out like in March or something like that. Um, but that's an original Pixar movie. You know, Pete Docter still is focusing on making original movies. He has Hoppers coming out next year. He has the person who made Luca making his own original Pixar movie coming out like 2027, 2028. But in between that, we are getting your Incredibles 3, your Toy
Toy
Story
Story
5.
5.
Yeah, so you are getting your sequels in between there. The Frozen 3 and 4 is still in development. That's not Pixar, but you know, so it's just it's a sad state, but I hope people will still go out to see the next one. You know, I said the same thing after Turning Red, or not after Elemental last year. I was like, after Elemental, could people go out and see Elio? And it came out, and nobody went to go see Elio. So don't be complaining about these sequels, guys, if you're not coming out to see these movies. Even though I can say that it's easy to say like, why aren't people seeing these Pixar original movies? But when they gave us movies like Elio, which aren't too appealing, you can't really blame the general audiences anymore. Um, so it is a very unfortunate year for Pixar. Um, so yeah, that bears to be talked about. Um, but okay, yeah, those were the winners and losers of the summer season. Um, Again, big takeaways: Pixar didn't do so well. Comic book movies, you know, Superman did very well, but and Fantastic Four did like over 500 million, which is decent. But I think the bigger thing for comic book movies is that like Fantastic Four didn't do as much as we hoped. Neither did Superman as much. Um, but the Asian market really killed those two movies. They officially bombed in those markets. Jurassic World continues to be an unbeatable franchise. Disney remakes, well, you know, just live action remakes in general, How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo and Stitch were big successes. And Megan 2 was a surprise, just destruction, just obliteration. But okay, those were the lessons. Those were the big spotlights of the summer season. Let's move into our fall box office. We did 5 for the summer. What are you thinking here? We do 4 for the fall?
I feel like we could still probably make it 5 in a danger
Okay.
zone. Give me
I
one
have.
second though.
Go right ahead. I'll keep on talking. I made a list of 10 last night that I think will make a decent amount of money. And just some teases for what we're going to be talking about this fall. We have big movies from big franchises coming up. We have Avatar 3, sorry, Fire and Ash. Not having the anticipation built up like Avatar 2 did. And because of that, this only is coming out, what, 3 years since Avatar 2?
Yeah, 3 years. Will be 3 years.
How will that affect the box office? Is this guaranteed to make another $2 billion? Or will we see a drop off both critically and financially for the Avatar franchise? But we always say you can't really underestimate James Cameron. We also have Wicked for Good, the follow-up sequel to the big box office and just movie story of the year last year, which was Wicked. How much would that make compared to the first movie? You know, people have always said if they watch the play that the second part isn't as great as the first part, but can John M. Chu strike magic again? And then we have a lot of horror franchises, horror thrillers. The Long Walk is coming out next week. Five Nights at Freddy's is coming out. That's going to be big. So we have some horror love there. Conjuring, we'll talk about it right now. 83 million for The Conjuring. Part 5 or 3?
4. The last one allegedly. We'll see about that.
The last one allegedly, and you know, because we're doing our box office predictions about like a week later than we usually do, Conjuring would have been, I don't know, I think I would have put it on my list, maybe. But like I didn't expect it to make this much money. This made officially more than Oppenheimer did opening weekend. It's one of the highest grossing R-rated openings of all time. Um, one of the highest grossing horror openings, only below It Chapter 2 and Beetlejuice, I think. I think it's number 3 for horror. Let me get the specific breakdowns there for Conjuring, because it's just remarkable the amount of records it broke today. Let's see real quick. Yeah, so number 11, biggest R-rated opening of all time, 11th place again, beating Oppenheimer. So now it's behind R-rated movies such as the Deadpool trilogy, It Chapter 2, Joker, Matrix Reloaded, Hangover Part 2, Logan, Passion of the Christ, and now Conjuring is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 11 at 83 million, just barely beating out Oppenheimer. Biggest R-rated opening of the year, easily beating Foundation Nation's 51 million. Number 4 biggest September release was Conjuring. And number 2 biggest post-COVID horror, only behind Beetlejuice. It's crazy. Crazy.
Right. Before we dive into that, I'm going to do the announcement for the little Conjuring giveaway that we had going on.
Go ahead.
For the 4K of the first movie. Let me just spin the wheel. And all right, there. That is our winner. We'll contact you later after this episode on not Instagram, fucking Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
What's your name?
Kill. Well, their hashtag is like kill there. So there
okay.
You go.
Yep. There we go.
But with that out of the way, now let's spin the wheel for us. Who's gonna get to do this first? And as we established at the beginning, Evan won the summer. So
Okie dokie. This is hard.
Ready?
I'm ready. I guess not hard, but this is gonna be interesting. Ooh.
Saved by the bell. Saved by the bell.
I was ready.
All right. Let me close this tab. Move on to this one. Yeah.
Love it. Nice.
And then starting off fresh. What do you think I'm gonna pick, Evan?
I think you'll pick One Battle After Another.
Hell yeah. You well, I'm gonna pick a movie from a director who Leo has worked in. A man that you cannot bet against, because every time that you do, you'll end up losing. That movie is Avatar: Fire and Ash.
What was the James Cameron movie that Leo was in? Oh, I'm stupid. Titanic.
A classic.
I'm like, what the heck? Oh, but yeah, Titanic. I love Titanic. One of my favorite movies ever. Let's talk about this. Like I said up top, this is a franchise you can't really bet against, but can you bet against it not doing as well as the other two? What do you think?
It's funny because the issues of this franchise is like, will it make 2 billion or 1 billion?
Right.
Like, it's gonna make 1 billion either way. I do think it's probably gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be that far. Okay, here's the thing about the Avatar movies that work so well and when they make so much money. It was so fucking smart for him from the very beginning, from the first one, to release them in December and because they basically, these movies leg it out for like 2 months straight, and that's why they reached the numbers that they reach. Plus the premium formats, 3D, IMAX, Dolby, all of that good stuff.
Yep.
I feel like, okay, I don't recall how much Avatar Way of Water did in total.
I just looked it up. It made 684 domestic. Yeah, there we go.
1 billion,
1.6
6 billion. Okay.
international. That's crazy.
Okay, here's the thing. I think this Fire and Ash could reach 1.9 or like barely 2 billion.
I agree here. I think looking at this split with domestic making 30% and the international making 70%, I think we're going to see something very similar. For me, I think 1 billion. Wow, it's even crazy to think of 1 billion just on international money alone. But
It is Avatar.
it is Avatar. But we're in the year 2025. We've had some surprises.
How
But
much
go
how much
ahead.
did this thing do in China? 245.
245 is crazy.
What are the numbers here? 150. I mean, people do love their blue aliens. So
They do.
South Korea 108, Mexico 55.
This is insane. 55 million in Mexico alone is crazy. So yeah, this was a juggernaut. This was a complete juggernaut. I have to guess right now. My guess is that it's going to make. I'm gonna lower some things down. I think it's going to make 500 domestic. If that's just lowering things down, 500 domestic, 1.3 international, which is gets close to what you said there, 1.8 billion. So I think those are my numbers: 500 domestic, 1.3 international, with the bulk of that being again China and all the other ones. But yeah, this is a massive, massive movie. Again, we'll be talking about this box office. We'll be breaking down the fall box office at the beginning of January. So
Which feels
Avatar,
insane to say out loud. We're almost there.
we're almost there. But so Avatar Fire and Ash would only have had like 3 weeks, but I think we'll be able to gauge.
We'll know by then. Like,
We'll know by
where's it
then.
gonna? Yeah,
Exactly. 3 weeks into Avatar 2, and it was already at like $1 billion something.
yeah.
So that'd be interesting to track down, of course, because most of these Avatar movies they make a bulk of their money in January. But yeah, this is a guaranteed hit. This is James Cameron. This is gonna be big. I'm also very curious. Different subject entirely, but like awards chances. Can Avatar 3 follow suit and get like also some awards buzz?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think it has a chance of being the best one so far. I don't know how well it's gonna do during award season. I feel like people are just gonna we'll just give you visual effects.
Exactly. I think it'll be visual effects, maybe cinematography, because the second one didn't even get cinematography. Put in there Zootopia 2, another guaranteed hit. If Inside Out 2 has anything to go by, Zootopia 2 is going to be massive.
Great fall for Disney.
What?
Great fall for Disney.
Oh yeah. You know, they didn't have the best summer. Thunderbolts didn't do so well for them. But they're gonna have a big fall with Avatar and Zootopia coming out for them. Zootopia 2, what more needs to be said? I think the marketing has been very smart. The teaser trailers have been very fun. The first big trailer for Zootopia 2 was very well liked and well received. This is one of my favorite Disney movies. It came out in 2015. Crazy. 10 years.
I think this is gonna be the same thing as what's it called?
Inside Out.
Yeah, Inside Out too.
Exactly. Yeah. Like this is a massive wait. This is one of the longer. It was 2016. Still a massive wait for this movie, but because of Disney Plus streaming, etc. Zootopia has just always maintained the public conscious. Like I've taught middle school and I put some like bonus questions of Zootopia in there. People were on top of it. They knew all the Zootopia Easter eggs and trivia and stuff like that. So Zootopia came out. It made $1 billion in 2016. It's gonna make more than that in 2025. I think at base it'll make 1.025 million. So I think we're going to go over 100 million domestic, and it's going to be the only really animated movie competition from Thanksgiving all the way to the end of the year. Let me see if there's any other animated movie even coming out at the end of the year. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Scarlet, which isn't going to do anything, but yeah, it's like that's crazy. Utopia 2 and it has IMAX November 26th. Yeah, it's going to be the animated movie to see. It's going to have a new life when it comes out on when Christmas season comes out too, because it'll still be making bank. Like if people don't want to go see, they have the SpongeBob movie, but like it's not going to hold a candle to Zootopia 2, I think. Okay, so Zootopia 2 is going to be big again. Can you look up Inside Out 2 for me real quick?
What about Inside Out?
Inside Out 2. I want to compare to see what Zootopia could probably hit. So Inside Out 2 was last year, and it came out to 1.698. Massive. I don't know if it gets that high, but I'm thinking like 1.3 to 1.5 billion for Inside Out 2. I think this is going to be. I think we just talked about the two guaranteed $1 billion grosses in Zootopia 2 and Inside Out. Sorry, yeah, Zootopia 2 and Avatar: Fire and Ash. Those are two movies that are guaranteed to go over the $1 billion thresh mark. Can anything else get there? I don't think so. Let me look at my list again. But yeah, those are the only two I had making $1 billion. Zootopia 2, Avatar: Fire and Ash, over $1 billion for both of them. So what's next for you?
I'm gonna go with another obvious choice. I don't think it's gonna be as big of a hit as the first one, but it'll still be huge. Wicked for Good.
Wicked for Good, of course.
Um,
Can you go back to your screen, by the way?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we've talked about this here and there with Wicked. Wicked, the first one last year, it was a huge hit in the States, not so much in overseas, but I mean, it still got close to like 800. Like here's the numbers for Wicked. I think it'll do about the same domestically. I think international it might go down. I'm predicting maybe around between 6 and 700 million worldwide for its final run for Wicked for Good.
I'm so torn, man. I don't know if this is going to be bigger or less than. I think the hype has only grown for this. I'll go the opposite direction. I'll play devil's advocate, even though I think you could very well be correct. I think Zootopia 2 is bigger competition than Moana 2, maybe. I don't even know about that. Because Moana 2 came out at the same time, and Wicked still made.
Wicked, not Wicked. Moana made like $1 billion, like
exactly.
Moana 2. So
yeah, so it's hard to even compare. But like, it's gonna have. But basically, what I'm saying is gonna have animated competition, animated sequel.
The following week, yeah.
Yeah, the following week. Oh yeah. Is this coming out? Is this not coming out at the same time anymore?
I don't think so. I think this is on the Wicked for Good is on the 21st, and Zootopia is on the 26th.
Correct. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go the other direction. I'm gonna say it could make more. People have known this franchise now; they know who they are. The hype for the first one has built up. I would say it'll make between 750 and 800 million again. I won't be surprised if it cracks 800. Because the hype is there. Audiences know what they're in for. They love the first one. They love the sing-along versions of the first one. This one had astonishing legs. 112 million opening and legging it out to 473. A 4 times multiplier is insane. But it did have that Thanksgiving corridor and the Christmas holiday corridor. So.
Yeah. I think it's also going to be interesting because this is the second half of the play that a lot of people just don't really fuck with. Yeah. So they really have to switch it up or make it more interesting for it to resonate with people. I don't know. We'll see. We've seen worse movies make like $1 billion, but
exactly.
But yeah, like it's gonna be interesting. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it does more domestically. It's the international numbers for me that I'm like iffy about.
You're right, because last year it had an animated sequel in Moana 2 to fend off, but when Christmas came around, what came out last Christmas that was a threat for Wicked?
Lion King,
which was
Sonic.
So Lion King and Sonic, yeah, were big threats. But like Wicked is going to have Avatar 3 to contend with come late December. It's
And the
not going to be
international numbers
are
prove
going to
that they're
lower
gonna.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think we're going to look at again. I'll still go above because I want to be different, but it's very likely this makes like again 400 million domestic, but then a little bit less domestic or international. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a very interesting play here for Wicked. Um, so yeah, these are two big juggernauts here. I don't have anything else on my list getting even above 500 million. Um, but that's for overall. Domestically, I think all three of these movies are going to be big. I'm going to go out of left field here.
Oh, it's gonna be Evan.
No, I'll wait because I know you're not going to pick this one. I'll wait. I can wait because I know you're not going to pick it. I'll go Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
All
We got to
right.
keep. We got to keep the sequels alive here. Can you pull
That
up
was
Five Nights at Freddy's, please?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is a guaranteed hit. None of us expected the first one to absolutely blow up as much as it did. Granted, we knew it was a very popular game for this generation of children and teenagers, but I did not expect it to make 291 million. An 80 million opening weekend is insane. It did drop off quite dramatically though. 80 million to 137 domestic is quite the drop off. How did that happen?
The interesting thing about this movie is that it's not opening in October; it's opening in December.
Yeah, it's coming out what 2 weeks before Avatar?
Yeah,
Um,
and a week after Zootopia.
a week after Utopia. So it's very weird, but these are completely different audiences.
Yeah,
So it'll do fine. December horror. We'll see how it goes. Um, it works out sometimes. Works out. It doesn't work out sometimes. So we'll see where it goes. But 80 million, I think, is crazy. I think this is also, yeah, it made 80 million in 2023. But correct me if I'm wrong, Edgar. This was also during the time of Peacock simultaneous releases,
yeah.
right? So it made 80 million, even though you could easily watch it at home. That's what Nathan and I did. Opening weekend, we saw it together on stream. I didn't even go to the theaters to watch this movie. But that's not going to be the case this time. It's going to be only in theaters. The hype grows for this franchise. It doesn't look that good, but it's Five Nights at Freddy's coming out in December. I think it's going to make bank. I think it's going to do better domestically than the first one did. But then internationally, I don't know how much it's going to make. Probably a little bit, again, less international. But domestically, I think it's going to make more because it's not going to have that simultaneous release, and people know what they're in for again with the first one. They're not the most well. The first one wasn't the most well received movie, but this franchise is undeniable automatically now. After that 80 million opening weekend, it could have another big drop off. Can you scroll down? What was the second weekend drop off? It was like 60%.
Give me 1 second.
76%. Yeah, that's a crazy drop off. Crazy drop off.
But also, like you mentioned, it was the same day release, so
Yeah. And it still went on to make 291 million off of like a what $20 million budget. Like the budget was super low for this franchise. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is my second one here. It's gonna make bank. I think it'll make more than the first one.
hmm this is where it's getting tough.
It does.
I think I'm gonna take a risk halfway through my list. This movie could very easily bomb. The last one, I was looking at the numbers and it actually did pretty well. But yeah, it is a toss up. But I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with Tron Ares.
Ooh, okay.
If you look at the number, I was actually surprised because I remember one of the big talking points about Tron Legacy is that it kind of bombed, but not really. It just did okay. And looking at these numbers, it's like Tron Ares would be grateful if it did 400 million.
That would be a surprise. Yeah.
I think the cap worldwide for Ares on a good day is like 250. Maybe 300 if it gets good reviews, but that's like wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I don't.
How much do you think domestically though? So Tron Legacy opened up to 44 million. Do you see this making 44 million opening
I
weekend?
think I think it could make 40. Let me double check if what's coming out that week. There's nothing coming out the week before. This it releases the same day as Roofman and If I Had Legs I'll Kick You, which they're not gonna do anything.
Nope.
Weirdly enough, the big two releases of October are Tron Ares and Black Phone. It doesn't really have any competition for the month other than Black Phone and two completely different audiences. So we'll see. Um, Maybe the love Tron Legacy has earned through the years will help it at the box office. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I think I will say 250 for worldwide and opening. I'm gonna be generous and I'll say 40. I think this could like cap at like 90, 100 million domestically on its run. Maybe another 100 international, but again, that is being generous. Although I will say, given its sci-fi kind of like cyberpunk vibes that Tron has, I am interested how this will play overseas, like in Japan and all of those other markets.
Yeah, I just don't know. I think this is not going to perform that well. Sorry, state again. What was your prediction for domestic for Tron Ares
Overall or opening weekend?
opening weekend?
Opening weekend, I'll say 40.
40 million opening weekend around. Yeah, 40 million I think makes sense. 40 million in making, like you said, I think you said like what, 90 overall domestic or
Domestic, yeah.
100. Yeah, I think 40 million makes sense. It'll struggle to make 100 million overall domestically. International, I just don't know if it can get even 200 million in it. I just don't think the hype is there at all for this franchise. The movie does not look very good at all. I think there's going to be a swing and a miss. I don't know what the budget is either.
I'll imagine it would probably be somewhere like around 150.
Yeah, 150. Yeah, makes sense. So yeah, making 300 million, 400 million would be pretty nice, but I think this is going to crap out like at 250 overall, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tron Ares, I'll be right there with you. I'll say like 40 million opening weekend. There, let me see. Yeah, Tron Ares. I keep forgetting it's an October movie. Like, yeah,
It's pretty empty in October besides Black Phone.
yeah, it does have a pretty good runway. Yeah, it does have a pretty good runway, so it could help its domestic chances. Yeah, Tron Ares makes sense. 40 million opening weekend, and yeah, we'll see where it goes overall. I'll say 220 overall. So mine is hard because I think I'm gonna go with it's coming out this weekend. I'm gonna go for broke here. I'm gonna say Demon Slayer, the anime. Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle. Now,
is that what it's called? Infinity Cast?
Infinity Castle, yeah. It's part Infinity Castle Part 1. Are they even calling it Part 1?
You're asking the wrong person.
Come on, you're not an anime fan like me. Come on. Okay. Oh no. It's called Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Akaza's Return. Yeah.
I'm not writing all that.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't. You dare. It's okay. Akaza is my favorite character, and he's the main villain of this movie. It's not. It's slight cheating because like this movie is already making a shit ton of money in Japan and overseas. But domestically, I think we're going to be in for this weekend the highest grossing opening weekend for an anime movie in the States. I think we're getting ready for something big is going to happen this weekend. I just don't know how big. I think the record right now is Pokemon, the movie in 2000, which made like 30 million domestically opening weekend. So it's been like 25 years since an anime movie completely blew up. I forget what the last. How much did Mugen? Because Demon Slayer has a history. The Mugen Train in 2020, the box office was, let me see here. Domestic, it made 49 million. And where's it at? Original release, domestic. Yeah, this movie opened up to 21 million. But that was like COVID, April 23rd, 2020. And it still made 21 million. So yeah, this movie making, I think, my prediction is going to make 45 million or maybe 30 million this weekend, between 30 to 45 million. And I think it's going to leg it out pretty well. I think this is one of the most accessible anime to come, just worldwide in general. Um, the hype is there, super strong for the franchise. It's already gearing up to be one of the highest grossing anime ever in Japan, getting up to movies like Your Name and Spirited Away. And in the States, I think the hype has just grown. When I was teaching middle school, all the students, mostly the guy students, but most of the students were big fans of Demon Slayer. It's definitely one of the more accessible anime, new anime for younger audiences. So yeah, I'm gonna predict like 35 million this coming weekend, probably even more. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes as high as like 45 million opening weekend. So strictly thinking about domestically here, I think it can go very far because September is pretty barren. There's some other movies coming out next weekend that's also going to be big. So it's going to be a battle, I think. But I do see, don't be surprised if Demon Slayer opens up higher than like The Long Walk next week as well. Which I do have on my list. It's in one of my places here that I could say. But yeah, Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle. This is going to be big. I already have my IMAX tickets, and the theater is nearly sold out.
How does it feel to live nearby an IMAX theater?
Feels really good, fam. Feels really good. 15 minutes away. Isn't that bad?
Hell yeah.
So yeah. How close is your nearest AMC theater for you?
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4 or 5 that are all like 15 minutes away.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So no one's like not closer than the other, or like they're all
similar. They're all pretty evenly distributed. I'm kind of like living in the middle of like Anaheim, so
that's crazy. Yeah, I have like one that's in the far end of the city, one's on the total opposite end. There's only like 2 big AMCs in Cincinnati.
LA territory, baby.
I know, right? So yeah, I'll go Demon Slayer Infinity Castle here.
Okay. I'm gonna pull a similar to you, gonna cheat a little bit, and I'm just gonna go with The Conjuring.
Okay.
Like you already discussed before we began this section, 83 million opening. Not only that, but I think it already surpassed It Chapter 2, I want to say, for also the biggest opening overseas. I think, let me double check the numbers. I think Chapter 2 opened to 92 million overseas, and this new movie, The Conjuring, it opened to 1.4 overseas, to a total of 187 so far worldwide. Crazy. I love even when these movies are not at their best, I still enjoy them. I have a great time. I think at its core, this franchise, more specifically the core Conjuring franchise, is more of a kind of like a gothic romance, more so than anything else. And then you'll have your occasional set piece, your horror set piece here and there. I'm gonna miss the fuck out of Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga going on little spooky adventures, but
I am too.
Even though I'll miss them, I hope it is actually the last that we'll see of them.
It better be. Yeah, it's about time to wrap this up. Spinoffs, though, go right ahead.
Over under 50% that they'll make a young Warren TV show.
God, I'll go under. They can't be that desperate. That's bad. That's bad.
I don't know.
Young Sheldon, young Warren.
Remember a couple months ago when they were like, "Oh yeah, this is the end of phase 1 of the Conjuring universe." It's like, what does that mean?
I don't remember that quote. They said phase 1.
Yeah.
There's like 20 movies for phase 1. Then how many? Because they made all the Annabelle specials or spinoffs, and then
the Nun.
Conjuring, the Nun. Like that's just
like La Llorona.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how they never did a Crooked Man spinoff. That's the one character that I would have liked to see.
Me too. That's super surprising.
But I
But
mean,
yeah,
yeah, there's not much to say about The Conjuring.
and I'm
We
much
already
else
know
to
the
say. Yeah,
numbers.
domestically it's going to be massive. Globally, it's already massive. Um,
Honestly, it might do better than Tron Ares, but we'll see.
oh yeah, I think it's already confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's for sure going to be better than Tron Ares, and probably could be better than Five Nights at Freddy's as well. Um, this is where things get interesting.
This is where you go with your heart, Evan.
What do I have in my heart though? I don't want to do one battle after another. I don't think that's going to make because right now I'm looking at movie. What movies can make over at least 40 million
Opening
um,
or
opening weekend
I don't
domestic.
know.
Predator Badlands is up there, but audiences I'm so wary. Can you look up what did Alien Romulus do last year?
Alien opened really well.
Was that 60 million? I think Alien Romulus.
It opened to 42.
42. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for Badlands.
But do people care more about Alien than they do Predator? That's the question.
I thought people didn't care about Alien anymore because Covenant was so not well received.
But I mean, it still did okay. Let me check.
I don't think it did. I think Covenant made like 220. Let's see what it is here.
You're close, 240.
240, yeah, and 36 million to 220. It didn't last long. But 350 is really strong for Alien Romulus. And yeah, I think 40 million. Luckily, Badlands is not coming out the same weekend as The Running Man anymore.
Not that that means anything for either movie, I think. But
I think they're both not going to do well this year.
yeah,
I don't know if Running Man's that appealing to a lot of people.
I hope the Running Man does well. It
Me
looks
too.
really fun.
It looks fun.
But it just looks like one of those classic big bomb movies, almost
It
like
does.
Baby Driver.
It's screaming that. It's screaming that. And Baby Driver luckily had like a shoestring budget. Do I go? Springsteen could be huge too. When's Springsteen coming out?
October, I want to say.
Springsteen's coming out October 24th. Same week as Chainsaw. I'm not doing another anime movie. I'm not doing Chainsaw Man, which is a sequel to the season 1 of Chainsaw Man, because that has not been proven to be a good theatrical anime threat. But anyways, Springsteen or the Black Phone 2. The Black Phone 2, I just don't see like that's going to be a breakout hit. Springsteen could be a hit though. Man, this is hard. Badlands or Springsteen? Or Begonia. No, Begonia's going to bum.
Nah.
Fuck, man.
I don't even think Begonia is going to open to enough theaters to.
Yeah, probably not. It's not on my list. I was just saying that. I'll go Predator Badlands has been number 4. I'm gonna guess at base. Let's say 35 million. I want this to be a success so fucking badly. People have been clamoring for Predator to be back in theaters ever since, even before Prey. People had not even seen Prey. They saw the trailers for Prey and were like, man, I wish Prey was in theaters. Prey comes out on Hulu. Boom, this should have been in theaters. Then comes Killer of Killers. Boom, super well received. One of the most highest rating Predator properties. And also people were like, wow, I wish Killer of Killers was also in theaters. Dan Trachtenberg was like, okay, bet. I'm making a big budget Predator movie. We're going to a Predator homeland. And it's going to be the most dangerous game set in Predator, where the Predator is tracking down all these crazy monsters to prove itself. You have you have Elle Fanning here. But the main character is a Yakuza, whatever, the Predator, which is a ballsy move. I don't know how successful this is going to be. I want it to be successful. I have this opening to about 35, 40 million. If this could make Alien Romulus numbers, I think this will be a success. So by that, I mean 40 million plus opening weekend, and hopefully some good international numbers to make it get to like, I don't know, 300 million plus for this Predator movie, which is the first Predator movie in theaters since the god awful Predators movie,
2018.
2018 movie, like that. If it makes over 300 million, we're back, folks. We're back. So that's my bar. 40 million opening weekend, 300 million globally. Overall for the States, I think. You still have Alien Romulus on your screen?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Here we go.
What was the? It made 105, so it did cross 100 million. If Predator Badlands can cross 100 million domestic, I think we're golden. For like future sequels in theaters. So yeah, that's my hope. 40 million opening weekend. Let me write that down so I know I won't forget when we go over it. But yeah, 40 million opening weekend, 100 million plus domestic, and then 300 million worldwide. I think that'll be it. I think 300 million worldwide. That means it'll make more than Tron Ares. But I just don't see Tron Ares making that much money. I think it's gonna flop. But anyways, number 5 now. What do we got?
There's not much to choose from, so I wasn't expecting for me to go horror back to back, but
Long Walk?
I'm gonna go Black Phone.
Black Phone.
And like, here's another. It feels like could be another repeat of of Megan, where Megan made almost made like 200 million, and I was looking at the numbers for. Let me see, where is this? Not here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I think Black Phone didn't make that much.
It made 161. It did fine. I mean, it had like
90 million domestic is pretty big. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
20 million opening and making it to 90 million. That's some good legs. Holy shit!
So if this movie manages to crack 140, I think it's a hit.
Wow. I mean, yeah, that's definitely a hit. Can you look at the domestic legs there? What the hell?
Give me 1 second.
That's shocking. 23 million to 90. Yeah, it had small drop-offs. Small drop-offs. Wow. Okay. So yeah, great black. That's a great pick now that I'm seeing what the first one did.
And also, the movie also kind of has more of a fall holiday season. It is a risk, also kind of like in Megan, where it's not necessarily switching genres, but it is kind of like becoming a little bit more supernatural, which feels silly to say after the first one, but with the guy, what is he called, the grabber?
Sure.
Kind of becoming almost like a Freddy Krueger-esque figure of him haunting you, I'm assuming in your dreams or something like that. We'll see how that plays out with general audiences, but from what I've seen, it looks fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen the trailer like one time, and I wasn't really paying that much attention, but I know he's like back somehow. So yeah, I think this is a great pick for this is number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great pick. I did not know the first one did that well. It might be bigger than Predator Badlands. Maybe. I'll be honest. I'll just say it. I'm really tempted to go The Long Walk. The reviews are really good for this movie. Again, it is coming out the same weekend as Demon Slayer, but it's completely different audiences.
Yeah. What are you thinking for opening weekend for that?
I think you can make like 30 million. Is that crazy? No. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
But like 25 to 30 million for The Long Walk, I think is possible.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's been any predictions or forecasts for The Long Walk. What are people thinking there? People are saying 10 to 20. I think it's going to break that easily. I think it's going to make more than 10 and 20 million. I just don't know. I'm between The Long Walk, Running Man, and Bruce Springsteen.
Not Roofman? You don't believe in Channing Tatum?
Nope. Sorry, Gambit.
Not The Rock? The Smashing Machine?
Nope. That's going to make like 10 million at most. Opening weekend. Long Walk, Running Man. I just don't see Running Man being big. One battle after another, though. That's on our cover here, Edgar. How much do you think one battle after another is going to do? Not well.
I feel like
you know what? I'll put one. I'll just say it right now. I might give you one battle after another for the Danger Zone because I just don't know how that's going to do.
The marketing is fucking awful for that
It's
movie.
bad. It's so
But
bad.
it could also be like a dad movie of the fall.
Right? It could be a hit. But
Like,
isn't it
like
over 2.5 hours though? How long is this movie?
yeah, it is like I think it's like 240. The problem is
Ugh.
I feel like it could do well opening weekend. Like I feel like it could go open to like 30 or even 40
Then
because people are gonna think it's an action movie starring Leo DiCaprio. But if you know like PTA's work, you'll know that this is probably gonna be like a dark comedy.
for sure,
Um
1000%.
and I don't know if people were gonna buy with that. It's also supposed to be like this revolutionary film.
Anti right wing.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's gonna play out.
Can you go
We'll
to?
be
Sorry to interrupt you. Can, can you go to a complete unknown? I want to see the comparison between what Springsteen could possibly do here. And Complete Unknown came out in like Christmas, right?
yeah. The thing is Jeremy Allen White as big of a name as Timothy?
Not at all. 75 million. That's their 11 million opening. This is so hard. I want to be right. Okay? I think our prediction is going to come down to like fifth place here. I want to say. You know what? Did I go Running Man? One battle after another, Springsteen. Running Man, one battle another, Springsteen.
Give me 1 second. I want to see something for myself.
Okay.
Okay.
I could go Springsteen. I just don't know. One battle after another. I just don't know. Running Man.
Oof. Okay.
Fuck it. Give me Running Man. I guess it's gonna bomb. I know it is, but just give me that. Nope. I'm going back to Long Walk. Give me Long Walk. Fuck it. It could bomb. But I think it's just so much praise for Long Walk. My gut
I think
comes to Long Walk.
I think like what I'm looking at right now is not so much how much money these movies are gonna make. I'm looking at their budget. Uh, Allegedly, I don't know if this is true, but the Running Man has a budget of 150.
Wow.
One battle after another has a budget of 115, which could be more. And I can't imagine the Long Walk or the Jeremy movie having a budget more than 50 million.
For sure. Long Walk has to be like 30, 40 million budget. Yeah, give me the Long Walk. I think that's going to be a success. Well received. Just coming out in September.
All right. Allegedly, the Long Walk has a budget of 6 million.
Oh yeah, it's going to break that easily. But we're so up and down. We don't really put into account budget successes. But I mean, I think overall it will be a success. Long Walk coming out this week. The Downton Abbey grand finale is this weekend too. Oh, that's gonna be big. This is a stacked weekend. Demon Slayer, Downton Abbey, Long Walk. I think Long Walk. Oh, what do you think about him? Do you think him's gonna be bigger than Long Walk?
Oh, I forgot about that movie. When is it releasing?
Next weekend, 19th.
19.
I don't know though. The trailers have been good. I don't know.
It could like don't we underestimate the black audience? Don't underestimate. What is the budget on him? I can't imagine it be.
Fuck, I don't know. These movies are all gonna make it around the same thing.
Okay. I don't see anything about a budget, but I'll say like 10 million maybe for that. Here's the thing. Could one battle after another pull a miracle and continue the WB strip?
Of going over 40 million?
Just opening weekend, I'm not saying overall.
Oh. No. No, it won't. I don't see success in that eye in the forecast for that. Oh, this is so fucking hard. But I'll go the long walk. I'll go the long walk. And because again, I was battling between um, Springsteen, now him, one battle after another. The Running Man. The Running Man could be a flop or a success. I have no idea where that could go.
The real
One
tester
Glenn
if Glenn
Powell.
Powell is a star.
He did pretty well in Twisters, but that was IP based as well. People love disaster movies. What else has he led? He's been a co-star. Like it was him and Sydney Sweeney for the rom com.
We could have had another tester with what's that Netflix movie, if it hadn't been released by Netflix.
Set it up.
No. The other one where he's like disguising himself as
Hitman. Yeah.
Hitman. There you go. Yeah,
He definitely led that one. Yeah. I don't know, man. That's it's a tough. So, what are you giving me for my danger zone?
it hurts. It hurts me, but I'm gonna give you one battle after.
Oh, another. Okay, you'll give me that one. Okay. Yeah. It does hurt. I was gonna give you this one, but it makes sense because I think this one's has a high budget. It just doesn't look that interesting. I mean, it looks interesting as a film fan, but like
Yeah,
as a box office appealing fan, it looks like another one of those southern, race against time, run away, gotta track down something kind of movie. But it's PTA, so it's gonna be different. It's gonna be unique. I'll give you Running Man. Then the marketing looks great. It looks super super fun. It looks like Edgar Wright, sci-fi adventure. I haven't seen the OG Running Man with Arnold. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to check it out. I probably won't. I don't want to know what happens.
mm-hmm.
It's based off of a book too, right? Is it a book?
Short novella or something like that.
Short novella. Okay. It's not Stephen King, right?
It is Stephen King. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that guy gets places. He made what, 500 books? Okay. Yeah, I think Running Man. I think again, just to repeat, budget of like 150, like you said. I think Running Man is going to open up to like 25 million. Unfortunately, maybe 70 million domestic overall, maybe 150 overall. I don't know. I just don't know where the international numbers are for that one. So yeah, domestically, I'm thinking 20 to 25 million for the Running Man. One battle after another, be lucky to get past 30 million, in my opinion. That runtime is going to be dangerous for that one.
Yeah.
Great list though. Again, my list says Utopia 2, which I'm predicting to make 1.5. Five Nights at Freddy's, which is going to make similar to like what The Conjuring is making right now overall. But yeah, sticking to domestic at least. Let me go back. Sticking to domestic, Utopia 2 is going to make over 400 million. Five Nights at Freddy's is going to make over 100 million domestic. Demon Slayer, I think it's going to be big. People are underestimating this. Get ready for some box office records for anime movies. By the way, this anime, as a huge anime fan, we're having a gluttony of great anime movies coming out in the States, thanks to G Kids and Crunchyroll and other anime producers. We have Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, Scarlet's coming out this fall as well. Yeah. Anyways, Predator Badlands, I'm hoping that is a success. I'm hoping it can replicate what Alien Romulus did. And The Long Walk coming out within the next few days as of this recording. And I'm predicting at minimum 20 million. I think people are going to be surprised by that movie. And then Edgar gave me one battle after another, and I think it's going to flop pretty badly.
Unfortunately, two of our goats, we have them flopping this year.
Yeah.
I think for me, with my list, I'm really happy with it. If anything, I would maybe switch Tron and Conjuring places. But other than that, I think it's good. I think it's solid.
Pretty good. It's going to be a good year for horror.
I think Tron is 50-50, but I think the movie that I'm most interested to see how it does is probably Black Phone for me.
Me too. Again, because when you pulled up the original one, I didn't know the original made 191. That's crazy. But Scott Derrickson, I didn't love the one with Anya Taylor-Joy on Apple TV, but I had fun with it. But I think Black Phone is back to his roots here.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. And yeah.
But yeah, that is pretty much it for this episode. We'll be back sometime in January to recap our draft, and we'll also pick up our winter spring movies for next year. Which is it going to be stack next year? Spring? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
For some reason, the only movie that I remember that's coming out during that time is Wuthering Heights. Which honestly,
yeah,
it's gonna probably do well.
Wuthering Heights is gonna crush probably. Even people are like, the internet is not looking forward to it, but it's gonna be easy date movie. The Ryan Gosling movie is coming out.
Hail Mary Project or whatever.
Hail Mary, Hail Project Mary, whatever the fuck.
Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary. Thank you.
There you go.
So that's what I can think of, but we'll know more as we get closer to it. I'm blanking right now, but yeah, 26 is gonna look interesting. But also coming up for the next month, we have our people should check out what we did this past week with our August monthly recap, talking about caught stealing, weapons, other
Freakier
big
Friday.
Freakier Friday. It was a surprisingly, I didn't see that much, but from what I did see, surprisingly great movies in August, which is rare. So catch us at the end of this month for our recap for September movies. We might be back for an Oscar post-festival update. Maybe.
Sometime this month, yeah.
Or we could go into October for that. We'll see. I'll ask Josh. Because with all the Venice, TIFF,
the chaos,
like my order is changing by the night. I don't know. So yeah, catch me on Twitter, Harris EV9. This is the final month of Big Brother 27. They kind of ruined the season this past weekend as of this recording. Something very bad happened. The Big Brother franchise, the reality TV fan base is not happy about what happened this past weekend. But I'm going to watch it. We have 3 weeks left, and then Survivor and Amazing Race are coming right back up at the end of the month. So that's me tweeting about anime, reality TV, and everything in between.
Yeah. And you can find me at EDG or TEG. You can find this podcast on social media, WHFG Podcast. We'll be back for our September episode. Again, like Evan said, maybe we'll do an episode in between for covering the festivals. Really excited. Maybe
real quick, by the way, Nathan and I on a different podcast, Michael T, we talked about the latest episodes of Peacemaker Season 2 and Alien Earth. We had a lot of fun talking about those recent episodes, so check that out. Follow my handle for all that kind of stuff too.
I think that's pretty much it. You can find some of my written work at Letting Clear Reviews and the cinemas, but hopefully me and Josh will be able to watch some of the festival movies in October. Beyond Fest, LA, let's go. Sentimental Value. Real quick, what is, out of all the reactions, what is the movie that you're most intrigued to watch? Because for me, obviously I want to see the critical darlings, but for me, I think Testament of Anne Lee and After the 100 on top of my list, just because of how mixed those movies are.
Yeah.
And also recently I learned that I haven't really seen people report on it, but I guess this happened at the After the Hunt screening where the audio was really shitty, and we'll see if that had any part in to play in how people reacted to the movie as a whole. But yeah, we'll see. But
interesting.
Yeah.
I think mine is easily No Other Choice from Park Chan-wook. That's my movie of the year. I cannot wait to see it. It's getting 5 out of 5s everywhere I look. I'm like, this is my shit.
Not a contender for the 8 movies that were running up for the Golden Lion.
Definitely not. But yeah, no Other Choice. I'm still looking forward to Scarlet, the anime movie. But yeah, Sentimental Value is also a movie that's just like, whew, ever since the Cannes release, I can't wait to see that. But yeah, this year, dude, because these movies are some of my most anticipated movies of the year, I might head to a Chicago Film Festival if they're doing something like that, and just because I want to see these movies as soon as possible. Yeah. I can't wait any longer.
Also, last thing, even though it has gotten mostly mixed to negative reactions, the reactions for Frankenstein are reminding me a lot of Crimson Peak. A lot of people fucking hated that movie when it came out, so we'll see how it turns out. But
it's pretty good, pretty decent.
Yeah, but we'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye-bye.
Sublime!